Did you know that Alexander the Great's empire stretched all the way from Greece to Egypt and even touched the fringes of India? This isn't just trivia, it's a testament to the remarkable reach of one man's ambition. Let's try to grasp the vastness of Alexander's empire. Picture a realm that starts from the cradle of Western civilization, Greece, and extends south to the ancient land of pharaohs, Egypt. Then it reaches out east, covering the rugged terrain of Persia, till it brushes up against the exotic fringes of India. This was no small kingdom, but a colossal empire, held together by the sheer will of a single man. But an empire of such magnitude was not just geographically diverse. It was a melting pot of cultures, people and traditions. From the philosophers of Greece to the mystics of Egypt, from the fierce warriors of Persia to the ancient scholars of India, Alexander's empire was a tapestry woven with threads from all corners of the known world. Yet beneath the grandeur and glory, the empire was a complex labyrinth of power, a web of alliances and a hotbed of rebellion. Maintaining control over such a diverse and vast territory was a Herculean task. And this task fell upon the young shoulders of Alexander, a man barely out of his teens when he began his journey to create one of the largest empires in history. The empire of Alexander the Great was not just a physical territory, but an unseen empire of influence that reached far beyond its borders. The ideas, the cultures, the philosophies that were exchanged, blended, and even clashed under his rule have left an indelible mark on the tapestry of human history, a mark that we can still see today. This is the empire we are about to explore, the empire of Alexander the Great. A man of such vast dominions, let's delve into the life of this legendary figure. Born to King Philip II of Macedon, Alexander was a student of none other than the great philosopher Aristotle. The young prince's education was nothing short of extraordinary. Aristotle, the mastermind of his time, stimulated Alexander's curiosity and nourished his intellect. Together, they delved into a variety of subjects, from philosophy and politics to science and the arts. This comprehensive education equipped Alexander with a broad worldview that extended far beyond the borders of his small kingdom. Meanwhile, Alexander's military training was as rigorous as his academic pursuits. He gained his first taste of warfare under his father's command, witnessing firsthand the strategic genius that had made Philip a formidable conqueror. These experiences instilled in him a deep understanding of military strategies and a fearless approach to battle. With such a formidable foundation, Alexander was destined to etch his name in the annals of history. This early period of his life set the stage for the legendary conquests that would follow, forever altering the course of world history. Alexander's military campaigns across Asia were nothing short of legendary. This phrase itself conjures up images of a young, audacious leader setting forth from his homeland of Macedonia with the audacious goal of conquering the known world. Our first stop on this trail of conquests is the Battle of Granicus, fought in the spring of 334 BC. Here we find Alexander, a young man of just 20, leading his troops against the Persian army. Against all odds, he emerges victorious, setting the stage for his unstoppable march across Asia. The Battle of Granicus is notable not just for Alexander's audacity, but for his innovative military strategies. He employed the phalanx, a tight infantry formation, to great effect, using it to break through the Persian lines. Next, we journey to Issus, where in November of 333 BC, Alexander faced off against King Darius III of Persia. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander's superior tactics won the day. He exploited the narrow battlefield to neutralize the Persians' numerical advantage and targeted Darius directly, causing chaos in the Persian ranks when their leader fled. The victory at Issus marked a turning point, solidifying Alexander's control over Asia Minor. The crowning jewel in Alexander's military career, however, was the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC. Here, Alexander faced Darius for the final time. Once again heavily outnumbered, Alexander used a risky and bold tactic. He led a charge straight at Darius, creating a gap in the Persian front line. The gamble paid off. Darius fled, and Alexander claimed a decisive victory. The road to Babylon, and ultimately the entirety of the Persian Empire, was now open to him. But the extent of Alexander's conquests didn't stop at the boundaries of the Persian Empire. He pushed on, driven by a seemingly insatiable desire for conquest. From Egypt, where he was hailed as a liberator, to the far reaches of India, where he fought the fierce King Porus at the Battle of the Hydaspes, Alexander's empire grew and grew. By the time of his death in 323 BC, his empire stretched from Greece in the west to Egypt and India in the east, making him one of the most successful military leaders in history. Yet these victories did not come easily. Alexander's troops endured grueling marches, fought in unfamiliar terrain, and faced formidable opponents. They were often far from home and stretched to their limits. Through it all, Alexander led from the front, sharing in their hardships and inspiring them with his courage and unwavering belief in their cause. His victories, however, were not without their share of tribulations. Alexander's Trail of Conquests, while marked by extraordinary military successes, was also a journey fraught with challenges. But as we'll see in the next part of our journey, these trials and tribulations only served to forge Alexander into the legendary figure we remember today. Despite his sweeping victories, Alexander faced opposition both from within his ranks and from the lands he sought to conquer. The internal struggles were as real and as potent as the external battles he waged. Let's delve into this fascinating aspect of his life. Alexander's own army, the men who fought by his side, began to question his leadership. The relentless campaign across Asia, the harsh conditions, and the constant war began to take its toll. The soldiers longed for their homes, their families, and a life away from the battlefield. This dissent within his ranks was a challenge Alexander had to face, a struggle that tested his leadership and his resolve. And then there were the external struggles, the resistance from the tribes and kingdoms he sought to conquer. Alexander's campaign was not a walk in the park. Each land he sought to claim came with its own set of challenges. The tribes in Bactria and Sogdiana, for instance, fiercely resisted his rule. The terrain was challenging, the weather harsh, and the people were unyielding, making his conquest a strenuous affair. Alexander's dream of an empire where the East met the West, where cultures merged, was met with resistance. The people of the conquered lands held tightly to their customs and traditions, hesitant to embrace the Hellenistic culture he sought to impose. This resistance to cultural assimilation was a significant external struggle Alexander faced. Yet it's important to note that these struggles did not deter Alexander. If anything, they seemed to fuel his ambition, his resolve. He navigated the internal dissent by maintaining a strong relationship with his men, reminding them of their shared victories and the glory they had achieved. He tackled the external resistance with strategic diplomacy, often marrying into local nobility to secure his rule. In the face of these struggles, Alexander demonstrated an exceptional ability to adapt, to strategize, and to persevere. His leadership, his tenacity, and his vision were truly remarkable. Yet even the greatest of men succumbed to the inevitable. This fact was as true for Alexander as it is for every mortal being. With Alexander's untimely death, his vast empire faced an uncertain future. The conqueror who had brought the known world to its knees was no more, and the power vacuum his departure created was nothing short of monumental. In the wake of Alexander's demise, his empire, once a singular unified force, fractured into a series of competing territories. His generals, who had once fought side by side with Alexander, now turned against each other in a bitter struggle for power. Their squabbles led to the infamous Wars of the Diadochi, a series of conflicts that would last for nearly 3 decades. The empire that Alexander had painstakingly built crumbled, divided amongst his generals, each claiming a piece of the vast territories stretching from Greece to Egypt and India. Yet, even amidst this disarray and division, the effects of Alexander's conquests continued to reverberate throughout the regions he had conquered. His campaigns had not only been military in nature, but cultural as well. Alexander's influence had a profound effect on the societies he encountered, leading to a remarkable period of cultural diffusion. This era, known as the Hellenistic period, saw the blending and spread of Greek and Eastern cultures across the vast territories that Alexander had once ruled. Greek language, arts and ideas melded with those of Persia, Egypt and India, creating a rich tapestry of shared knowledge and understanding. This fusion of cultures led to advancements in various fields such as science, philosophy and art, influencing societies for centuries to come. So while Alexander's earthly empire may have fragmented after his death, his cultural empire persisted. The diffusion of Hellenistic culture across the vast territories he once ruled is testament to the enduring influence of this legendary conqueror. For in the aftermath of Alexander's death, it became clear that his true legacy was not merely the territories he had conquered, but the cultural exchange his conquests had facilitated. Even in death, Alexander's legacy continued to influence the world. Alexander the Great, a name etched in gold in the pages of history. His life was a dizzying array of conquests and victories, a testament to his strategic brilliance and unyielding ambition. From Greece to Egypt, from Persia to India, his empire expanded, reaching an unprecedented scale in his time. Yet his legacy extends far beyond these territorial gains. His influence on world history is unmistakable. He brought about an era of cultural fusion, where Greek, Persian, Egyptian and Indian cultures intermingled, creating a rich tapestry of ideas and practices that continue to shape our world today. His military strategies are studied in war colleges, and his leadership style, though controversial, is still the subject of countless books and research. But perhaps his most enduring legacy is the fascination he continues to inspire. His life, his ambition, his victories and failures, they all make him a compelling figure in our collective memory. Alexander the Great, a legendary figure whose story continues to captivate us centuries after his time.